Well, folks, we're visiting today with Dominic Brinkley and Cole Amos. They are with Run With Christ, RWC, and also here to talk about a really spectacular event that they're bringing to Morgantown here in November called Revive Morgantown. Men, thanks for being on the show today.
Thanks for having us.
Thanks for having us.
Yeah, I look forward to learning more about RWC and Revive Morgantown.
Positively West Virginia. Positively West Virginia.
Positively West Virginia is powered by BreezeLine high-speed fiber internet and sponsored by Highmark West Virginia, Freedom Kia of Morgantown, and Humble Influence. With the help of these sponsors, we're able to share the positive business stories of West Virginians, including the one from today's episode.
All right, Dom, let's talk about RWC and Revive Morgantown. Then Cole, I'll let you fill in the blanks. So,
Okay.
Dominic, tell us a little bit about RWC,
Mhm.
and then if you want to talk about Revive Morgantown, let's dive into that too.
Awesome. Thank you so much.
Yeah.
Yeah, so RWC, Run With Christ, it's a global nonprofit now. It's we are just one very small puzzle piece in a lot bigger puzzle. RWC is around 80 cities across the world now, South Africa,
Wow.
London, Helsinki,
Amazing.
lots of different
And
countries.
you've got one here in Morgantown now.
And so, yes,
That's pretty
Morgantown,
cool.
West Virginia, there's now one. We started in March. March 1st was our first run, and it's been incredible ever since. Our goal is to bring people from isolation to integration through faith and fitness. So that's kind of our mission statement and why we do what we do.
Yeah. So, practically speaking,
Mhm.
RWC, what is it? It's a run club.
Yeah.
How often do you run?
Yeah. So we meet every week. Friday nights or Saturday mornings are our typical running times. We're just I just call it a big community event because half the people walk and half the people run. So whenever people come up to me and they say, hey, well, I don't really like to run, I'm like, hey, well, we have a bunch of people that walk anyway. So we meet Saturday
Nobody's left
mornings.
behind.
Yeah, no one's left out for sure.
Yeah, that's great.
So Saturday mornings we meet. We have free Alani waters that are graciously donated to us. And then we just get together, listen to some music, and it's just a great event.
Cool. Cole, how did you get involved?
So it's interesting. I actually kind of came from the other side, and I was a runner at first
Yeah.
because I like to run just personally.
Yeah.
And then I saw Dom post about Run With Christ in Morgantown and came out to it and loved it. And I think from my side, a big part that was interesting to me was, I can go run by myself anywhere or get a couple friends, but it was the community was a big aspect of it. And Dom does a great job of really kind of like emphasizing how important that is. And then I just got more and more involved, and just eventually Dom needed help leading. And so then I just kind of came on board and started help leading with it all.
That's very cool. So, Dom, you're a student here at WVU. Talk a little bit about your background.
So, as in like right now with school, or like how much background?
Yeah, like what are you studying? That kind of thing.
So I'm a junior here at West Virginia University. I'm studying marketing, minoring in international business and strategic social media.
Yeah.
My life has completely changed the past 9 months, and now I would love to do full-time ministry, Lord willing.
Yeah.
And I know that marketing is definitely a tool that can be used for ministry. So with RWC, I've actually gotten to do the best of both worlds. I do the marketing for RWC, and it's full-time ministry.
Yeah.
Not full-time, it's part-time.
Yeah.
But
well, you and I met. I spoke at a class at WVU, West Virginia University, on entrepreneurship. That was your freshman year 2 years ago.
Yeah.
And so tell us a little bit about how your life has changed the last several months.
Yeah, I mean, it's really just been it's been a roller coaster of the past 9 months, honestly. I grew up a Christian, knew Jesus, grew up in the church, grew up in private school, studied scripture. But the difference between the past 20 years of my life and 9 months ago is I actually started walking in obedience.
What does that look like?
I would say it looks honestly just like obeying what God has for me and obeying like what the Bible says.
Yeah.
Practically that looks like giving up a bunch of old ways of my past life, which we could be here for a long time talking about that. But honestly, just leaning more into God's will in my life, leaning more into what like God has for my life. And it's like drastically changed like the direction I was going until now I do
so
Run
good.
Club.
Yeah. Thanks for sharing that.
Yeah.
Sounds like it may have been a little bit difficult to share that, but thank you for doing that.
Yeah.
Cole, how about you? What's your background?
So right now I just finished PT school and an orthopedic residency.
Good for
so,
you.
Yeah, I'm
Yes.
kind of the older guy of the group.
That's awesome.
So I work as a physical therapist with the university, and then just help out with the run club, involved in my church too. But that's kind of where I'm at now, settling into work life now after school.
Yeah. When did you graduate?
I graduated PT school in 24, and then a year-long residency, and then just graduated that in August.
That's great. Well, it's great to have an orthopedic specialist PT in the run club, right? I mean, that's because there's injuries you happen.
Yeah, exactly.
That's pretty cool.
Yep.
All right, so let's shift gears now and talk a little bit about this event you guys have coming up, Revive Morgantown. Dom, I'll start with you, and then we'll go to Cole.
Yeah. So Revive Morgantown is something that's been on my heart for a long time. I just haven't known the exact way to go about it. The whole idea is to unite the body of Christ, specifically for this event, the college students and young adults in Morgantown. So the whole idea is one day, one event, one name, everyone celebrating or everybody praising Jesus for one day. So in the morning, 9 a.m., we'll have a big run club. There'll be events, donors, sponsors. It'll be honestly just an incredible morning. And then we'll actually be able to shift gears at 6 p.m. In the Mountainlair Gold Ballroom. We're all going to meet. And we have a worship team from Pittsburgh coming down to lead worship. And so it'll be just a night of worship and prayer.
That's amazing. What's the date?
November 1st.
I don't have a calendar in front of me. What day of the week is that?
It'll be a Saturday.
So it's kind of an all-day Saturday thing on November 1st. Cole, maybe fill in some blanks there. What are you expecting?
Yeah. I'd say what I'm expecting is kind of to speak what Dom talked about, how he found living in full obedience. And so I feel like for me, I'd have grown up Christian most of my life, but then we had and I had different periods of growth and, maybe not, but then
Part of the journey.
Yes, exactly. And we had a worship night where we did a combined run club with the Pittsburgh RWC, and it was life-changing for me. And I feel like I really, from that point on, just knew what full surrenderance meant, and was just fully surrendered to God. And I think that for me is what I'm hoping other people will experience that night, is just
talk a little bit, Cole, if you don't mind sharing how that changed you, that event.
Yeah. I always tell people it was just the most intimate connection I feel like I've ever had with God. And I think the biggest thing is it just changed my perspective on everything. It made everything else that I thought was so important not so important. And I think the peace that comes with that, and knowing just trying to walk every step just in God's will instead of my own will and trying to force it.
Was it part of that community that event brought together other like-minded people, and then you saw that, or how did that touch you? Yeah,
I think that definitely you see that and it makes you wonder, and you sometimes talk to people and you're I think there's something more there, they just have something else, and the person who kind of was running that, his name was Elvin. He said he just wanted to host the presence of God, was his goal of it, and just give God an opportunity to really meet people, just for people to come. And so I think that's what it ultimately was, is just I feel like God met me in a special way, but seeing that in other people, I knew there was something there.
Yeah, that's really interesting. This is Positively West Virginia. We'll be right back. In a world obsessed with leadership, what if the real key to success is followership? We hear it all the time. Be a leader, take charge. But what if the most impactful people aren't the ones leading from the front? In Humble Influence, I explore how humility, collaboration, and shared purpose empower followers to create meaningful change in business, organizations, and relationships. Discover the strength of true followership with Humble Influence. Folks, we're back. We're visiting with Dominic Brinkley. He's a WVU student, and Cole Amos, a recent graduate, PT, working as a physical therapist here in Morgantown at WVU. They are the founders of, here in Morgantown, RWC, Run With Christ, which is an international group. And also they're bringing to Morgantown this Revive Morgantown event November 1st here in Morgantown. Cole, I want to go back to something you were saying. You were talking about sacrifice and sacrifice and giving your life to God. And It's interesting. I was at a conference just a couple of weeks ago. We were talking about success and what all that means, in our culture here in America, the trappings of success, and it's individualized, and you have significance where you're making a difference in the lives of people and others, right? And contributing to that. And then I really was learning about this idea of sacrifice and really just giving it, surrendering. The word surrender. And I thought that was a really good word that you used. And, to me, it's like, it's this idea of like, yes, God, this is all yours, but we're offering it up like this.
Mm-hmm.
But when we're in this position of sacrifice and surrender, right? It's like we're really not surrendering because we're still trying to prop it up and our shoulders are hurting. Orthopedic, I got impingement so much, rotator cuffs, and then we got my back's hurting, my hips, my core is giving way. But then when you go and you surrender and you just let down everything, that's real. That's real powerful right there.
Yeah.
And so I just wanted to share that with you. I just learned about that.
No, that's great.
In terms of my business. And, I'm a Christian also, and a believer, and want to make sure that I am stewarding the business very well. But man, I try to do it all on my own. You can't do it on your own.
Yeah. Yeah, that's so good. Dom and I were kind of laughing because we always use that analogy, talking about that, trying to hold it up all on your own.
But surrender is like this.
Yeah,
right?
just letting it go. Yeah.
That's good. Dominic, what do you have to say about that?
Yeah, I mean, my team sees me do this at least like twice a week.
All the time.
And it's the idea of literally just giving it all to God.
Yeah.
See, because if you only give God this much and you're holding on to this much, he can only use you in a certain amount. And he's only going to be able to use as much as you give him. So it's been really cool this semester.
Yeah.
Because our whole entire team lives like this in a corporate sense. That like the run club could be taken away from us. Everything could literally be taken away from us. But there would still be a really long table with like 12 people sitting at it, meeting every single week, communing together, breaking bread together, worshiping God together. And it's like we practically live that mindset that like everything is unto God for his will, and he's going to use it in whatever way he wants to.
Yeah, that's awesome. Dominic, it was interesting. I didn't share this earlier when I was talking about how we met, but in February of 2025, Rebecca and my wife and I were at church, and I saw your testimony on the screen at our church, Chestnut Ridge here in Morgantown, and you were getting baptized that day. Yeah. That was pretty powerful to be able to see you up there. I didn't know what you were going through, but it was really powerful testimony, and then to come up afterwards and congratulate you, it was really awesome. What was that day like?
Yeah, I mean, that was one of the most incredible days of my life for sure.
It's basically publicly recognize that, you're giving your life to God.
Yeah, I mean, if you look back 20 years of my life, calling myself a Christian, there was no evidence of God in my life. But in January, whenever there was evidence of God in my life, I wanted to get rebaptized, and just a kind of a outward profession of my faith. And
I love it. Yeah.
I had a bunch of my friends there, and it was just incredible for them to witness and me just to be a testimony. And then, of course, seeing you after was a very cool connection.
It was cool. Yeah, it's like everything's coming full circle here, so it's pretty cool. All right, so let's talk about Revive Morgantown, and how can ministries that may be not part of RWC get tied into this program? Maybe I'd like to have both you guys talk about that.
I'll talk, and then you can touch up on everything I missed.
Okay.
You have a good team.
Yeah. So actually, our heart and our mindset for November 1st is to unite all of the believers in one space for a full day. I think, like, for me personally, leading a ministry, sometimes it's really easy to just kind of focus on like what RWC is doing and focus on kind of our own thing. And sometimes we can kind of become a clique and a group. And I don't believe that's how it's supposed to be. I believe Jesus is coming back for all believers, not just RWC and other ministries. So on November 1st, we're really just inviting every single ministry to come out and to be a part of it. We want everyone to at least have like one person from every ministry on campus. Like, that would be amazing, just to have every ministry have one person representing it. And it's going to be a great opportunity because I get to go up to other ministries and talk to them, be like, hey bro, what's your name? Like what young adult group or what ministry are you a part of? And then we actually get to share stories about how God is moving individually in our own lives and corporately as a ministry. And so then we get to see how God is moving through a Foolish Run Club versus like a Bible study. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So there's just two ends of the spectrum.
And now this is just, it's not just open to WVU ministries. It could be any ministry here in North Central West Virginia or Morgantown. Would that be fair to say, Cole?
Yeah, exactly. We want as many people as possible to get there, because kind of the goal is like two-sided. And like I was saying, hopefully for people to, you know, come to Christ who don't know him, or maybe they've been walking with him but just haven't reached that full surrendering, you know. But also just to unite everybody together. And you know, it's not about RWC and growing us, but just bringing everybody together to worship God and just in one name together. So yeah, we want as many people in different ministries there as possible.
That's awesome. This is Positively West Virginia. We'll be right back. Stay connected with an unbeatable deal from BreezeLine. Voted best in Mountaineer Country for their reliable, high-speed fiber internet for a low cost, BreezeLine is the best gig in town. You know, here at Interaction Media, we rely on high-speed internet every single day to ensure we can deliver the best content possible for our clients and when we publish Positively West Virginia each week. That's why we use BreezeLine. It's affordable, fast, and they're great people as well. Learn more about BreezeLine's internet, TV, and mobile options at breezeline.com.
Your prescriptions are designed to keep you healthy, active, full of life. At Highmark Blue Cross Blue Shield, we're making vital medicine more affordable. Because when your prescriptions don't cost an arm and a leg, you can use those limbs for something more meaningful. Because life. Highmark Blue Cross Blue Shield, West Virginia.
Guys, we're back. We're visiting with Dominic Brinkley and Cole Amos. They're with RWC, Run With Christ, and Revive Morgantown, a new event that they're bringing to Morgantown, not just for WVU, but for the entire community here in Morgantown and North Central West Virginia, November 1st. Guys, I was at an event earlier this year in 2025. It was called Unite Us or Unite US. It was at the WVU Coliseum, and it was mainly a WVU student thing, but there was a lot of people from churches across the area. Our church, Chestnut Ridge Church, was there participating, had a table set up and had an opportunity to get the word out about students and, hey, come to our church, check it out. But it was a fantastic event. It was, I think, a nationally organized event. Elevation, Rhythm, I think, was the worship team there. They were amazing. It was like a concert. But there were thousands of people there. Thousands and thousands of people. And that Coliseum is always packed with rabid fans, but these were fans of a different sort. And it was really powerful just to see that, like as an older person here in the community, see all these young people out there on the floor of the Coliseum worshiping, having a message. There was a couple of keynote speakers there that delivered powerful testimonies. And then at the end, it was really amazing. There was just hundreds, I think, of people accepted Jesus and were baptized at the Coliseum on these big tanks. What can people expect for the Revive Morgantown event?
Very similar for sure. It'll all be student-led versus like Unite, where they're professionals and they've been doing this their whole life. It's me. I'm a 21-year-old marketing major, and I think I have a few good ideas, and that's about it. And I have great people to help me along.
Yeah.
So different in that sense, but same as in the hope that we can't force God to revive Morgantown. We can't force revival. But what we can do is create a space where people are hungry for God, hungry for the presence of God, hungry for change. And in that, we hope to see revive. We hope to see change here in Morgantown. So compared to Unite, we're hoping it's very similar. But the aspect that I'm really excited about Revive is that if we can have all of the local ministries, the college ministries, young adult groups in one place, we're going to see this big spark. But then they have to get integrated into a Bible study, a community, some sort of life group where it actually goes into like a deeper level. The ministries are like a fan to the flame. So Revive Morgantown, we're praying for a spark of revival. And then people there from other ministries are actually going to be able there to fan the flame. And so that it doesn't just die out and it carries out and we actually see change in the city.
Well, as a person who is not on the college campus currently, I'm a WVU graduate. Things were different in my time back in the 80s. But I'm noticing, and I want to have both of you guys speak to this. It seems like over the past couple of years with the Asbury, I think it was called the Asbury revival, where they had like a couple of weeks of just constant worship and prayer. And then, here recently, the last couple of weeks, we had the assassination of Charlie Kirk. It seems like there is a movement afoot here. Cole, maybe you can chime in, and then Dominic, I'll get your thoughts. What is that the feeling that you're getting?
Yeah, 100%. I think one thing that gets me really excited is I told Dom this. When I was an undergrad, I was involved in ministry, and I knew God at any moment could move, but it almost just kind of felt like this far off wish. Like I just couldn't really see it, but I knew he could. But now it in a weird way feels like I actually can feel it. And just the things I've seen even with our team and the stories people are sharing, you just can feel God moving. And it actually feels like almost in a physical sense he's here moving.
Yeah.
So yeah, I feel like Morgantown's ready. I feel like our generation's ready really as a whole.
Yeah. Dominic?
I mean, I could sit here and tell you countless stories about people from across the country to here in Morgantown who have just radically changed their life and surrendered everything to Jesus through just a foolish run club. But I would rather you just come out November 1st and like experience what God is really doing in this generation.
Yeah.
I think our generation is often looked down on, but I think everyone in our, at least like in my generation, is hungry for change, hungry for something different. And we're like the seeking generation who's just seeking for more.
Yeah.
And I think when people find Jesus, they find the answer, and that's where we see that radical life change.
I think it's really cool what both of you guys are doing. Now, how can folks learn more about RWC and then also get plugged into this Revive Morgantown event November 1st?
Yeah. So if you want to keep up with kind of RWC and what we're doing, the best way to do that is just follow our Instagram, Run With Christ Morgantown. That's where we post all of our events, updates, pictures from our runs. So that's a great way to kind of just keep in the loop.
Yeah.
And then, do you have any other ideas how?
Yeah, I'd say, and then too, right now in the planning stage, we haven't started posting any marketing stuff with the Revive Morgantown, but we'll also on Instagram be posting that, and hopefully a lot of the local ministries we're partnering with will be posting it too, so it'll be everywhere.
That's great
as well.
Well, so for instance, say you're a WVU ministry or maybe an off-campus ministry, a church or something else that like Girls on the Run or something like that. What if they want to get plugged in, how can they do that?
I would say shoot me an email. I'm sure we can put my email in the description.
Yeah.
And I would say just shoot me an email with your ministry and any other thoughts you have, because we genuinely want every ministry to be a part of this event.
Are you seeking donations or sponsor? Because all this stuff costs money, right?
Sure.
How can people get plugged in there?
Yeah. So that's something we're just now starting to work on a lot more, is get more donations, because it's kind of just been funded sporadically. But yeah, same thing. If anybody just wants to email either of us, and we would definitely love the support.
Okay, that sounds good. So if you're a business, if you're a ministry out there, not only in WVU, but also here in the Morgantown area, open it up, right? I mean, Cole, you were born and raised in Bridgeport, right?
Yep.
Okay. Yep. Dominic, where are you from?
Martinsburg, West
Virginia. You guys are two West Virginia guys, and and you're, we can help spread the word right here in Morgantown. Make sure that you get out there and support these guys. Any thing that we haven't touched on that you guys want to talk about in this interview?
I would say if there's one thing I ask of people, it's not necessarily like monetary donations or any sort of like support, but it's actually just like prayer. I want this ministry to just be coded in prayer. I know people across the country who are praying specifically for the city of Morgantown. And so if I could just ask like one thing for like anyone listening, is it's just like to pray for us, like just pray for our generation that they seek and find Jesus. Pray that our generation doesn't find peace in this world, but only finds peace in Jesus. because we've seen how I'm so like fired up about this run club because I've seen it work in so many different cities, and it's such a great like font, such a great blueprint. And we've already seen it working great here in Morgantown that like, we just like don't want to stop. Like we just want to keep going.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'd say the only thing I'd add, just to expand on that, is we've talked to some people who, I think it's hard. People have been searching for revival in Morgantown for a while, and it's like, well, we've been there, done that. It's not happening, you know. But I would just tell people, kind of partnering with us in prayer and hope, because what if it is happening now?
Yeah.
And
I think
just not give up on it.
I believe it is.
Yeah.
And I think you two are excellent representatives for the faith and for getting outside, getting fit, right? You can get fit it's physically and spiritually at the same time.
Yeah.
Socially as well.
Could I ask you one question?
Yes.
Whenever you said you saw those people at the Unite event go up front and you just saw all the young people giving their life to Christ, what did that stir anything in you or give you any sort of like hope or?
Yeah, I felt like there was a movement happening, an awakening, a revival for sure. And it was, my wife and I both were very inspired by this next generation coming up, just to see that in action. I can assure you, I didn't see that when I was in college, when I was your all's age. I just didn't see it, you know? And so I think there's something big happening. I feel it. I feel it in our community. I feel it in our nation. And I feel it in our whole planet, you know? Something's happening. So I think what you guys are doing is really amazing. Our guest today, once again on this special edition, Dominic Brinkley, a WVU student, Cole Amos, a recent graduate and physical therapist here in Morgantown with RWC, Run With Christ, and Revive Morgantown. That's coming up November 1st. Guys, I just want to thank you for being on the show today, to sharing some of your personal story, some of your testimony, and for the work that you're doing. It seems like it's more than a passion project. It's a calling for you guys. And I just want to congratulate you for that. And just want to encourage you. And folks, if you haven't heard about RWC or Revive Morgantown, I want you to get plugged in as a sponsor, as a supporter. Just come out and run, have fun, be a part of the worship night. And will you guys also have like a calendar of events on the Instagram as well when you start putting that out, so people know exactly what time things are happening and where?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yes,
yeah.
sir.
We'll post a monthly calendar on there.
All right. That sounds great. Again, Dominic Brinkley, Cole Amos, thank you guys for being on the show today. I appreciate you.
Thanks.
Thank you for having
Keep up the great work. Folks, that's a wrap on another special episode of Positively West Virginia. If you or someone you know would be a great guest on the show, including nonprofits and even student-led ministries here on campus at West Virginia University, drop us a line on our Facebook page or on our website at positively.wv.com. We, of course, appreciate your positive reviews, sharing these episodes like that with Dominic and Cole, and getting the word out there. Get plugged in. Revive Morgantown coming up November 1st. On behalf of our entire Positively West Virginia team, I'm your host, Jim Matuga. Stay positive, West Virginia.
We'd like to thank our partners, Highmark West Virginia, Freedom Kia of Morgantown, Interaction Media, Humble Influence, and our studio sponsor, BreezeLine, for helping to share these positive stories. If you'd like to become a sponsor of the Positively West Virginia podcast, visit positively.wv.com/sponsor.